Welcome back to Lovin Dubai show. Our guest today is celebrity barber who began honing his craft at the age of 8 during the war in Lebanon back in 2006. At that time, he joined his father in clipping the hair of those impacted by the tragedy and has since then gone on to make it a full-time career, giving celebs and athletes razor-sharp fades, and now he's living in Dubai. Welcome to the show, Luay. Fandi, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We really appreciate your time this morning.
No, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Super early, especially.
No, that's all right. We're in Australia. We're pretty early people. You know, wake up from 6 a.m. onwards, so that's pretty
This is easy peasy. You can
Yeah,
take our jobs.
100%.
Yeah.
So can you start off by telling us more about yourself and your background?
All right. So my name is Luay Fandi. So I am a 26-year-old Lebanese born. So I was born in Lebanon in 1996. Moved to Australia in 2009 due to the war, and been a barber for over 15 years. So the reason we started barbering was because of the war. You know, always wanted to be a policeman, or border force patrol or something. You know, something in the police force. So due to the war circumstances, we started cutting hair. So, and we took it from there.
What do you mean? Why did the war promote you? Why did you start cutting hair? Because
Okay, so honestly, my dad didn't want me to become a barber. He always wanted me to do something else in life, you know. So during the war, our areas weren't as affected as other areas, so people started to migrate from the most affected areas to our areas, which is a bit more safer, you know. And so my dad came up with a great idea of giving out free haircuts to the people that were affected, you know, just to bring them back to, you know, give them a bit of a smile, keep them happy, you know. And so he took me into the shop with him, and he got me to sweep the floor first couple of hours, and then it got so busy that he was like, "Hey, you might need to start cutting hair." And he put me on a little stool, you know, I stood up on it. I was pretty short as a kid, so.
What age were you?
I was 8 years old,
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah. So and that's when I stood on there, and then he literally held my hand like this and guided me through how to do the first one, and he'd come and finish it off. So, and from there, you know, seeing the joy and the happiness that it brought to people, it made me want to become a barber. So it changed my whole career mindset, you know, as a kid, and till now we're still cutting hair 15 years later. So it's the best thing I've ever done in my life, to be honest. And so we just we couldn't stop giving back to the community. So, and we really enjoyed giving it back to them. So,
Can you remember special moments from that time?
special moments when I cut this young fella's hair. He was pretty sad because he lost his house. His parents lost their house. I lost everything they've had. So I cut his hair. Obviously, it wasn't the best haircut because I've never done it before, you know. So I cut his hair. Once we finished, he got off the chair, literally gave me a hug and said, "Thank you so much." You know, those moments just stick with you for the rest of your life, you know. And it's just that feeling of joy and happiness that brought to me personally and to other people that wanted me to pursue my dream in barbering, you know.
Oh, that's so special.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, Lebanon we went through tough times. It was very tough. And, you know, during the war, it was tough for everyone, absolutely everyone. I remember one time, you know, driving to work, and literally 30 seconds later, the bridge that we went under got bombed. So on the way to give people free haircuts and give back to the community, and it was pretty tough. And that day, my dad decided that he doesn't want me to go with him anymore. But I kept insisting, you know, like, I need to go, I need to help, because it was just such a great feeling, you know. And he kept denying, so I didn't go for 2 days at the time, but I kept waking up early, getting ready, you know, going to the door. So he saw how much I insisted, and he started taking me with him again. And, you know, it was just tough all over, you know.
So you're at such an early age. It's a lot that you're going through. Just those memories that you're living with and those experiences, how has it shaped who you are today?
Honestly, like a lot of people, you know, when we moved to Australia, I honestly didn't know better. I thought the whole world was just a war-torn country. It was a feeling kind of you're born to die. You get what I mean? So because all we grew up with, it was either a shooting here or a random terrorist group that came out and started shooting everywhere in my grandma's village while we were there, you know, and all these random bombings and public buses and all of that. So we didn't know better. We thought the whole world was just a war-torn place. You know, there was no internet, no Snapchat, no Instagram back then. We couldn't afford it, even if there was. You know, and going to Australia and fearing for the worst as well. Like, oh yeah, we just moved to another place. Maybe it's a little bit safer, but probably still going through some tough times. You know, when I first landed in Australia, got out, I instantly thought, oh well, I'm in heaven or something. You know, it was just I woke up from a dream that I was in or something.
Wow.
You know, Australia's a great country, but the impact that it had on me, it was a negative way growing up. I thought, this is it. This is what we're born to do. You know, just avoid bombs and avoid bullet shells. You know, every time we left the house, we'd say, oh, final goodbyes. Even to school, we'll hug as if it's our last time because we don't know if we're coming back home, right? It was just how it is. And it could have impacted my life in a negative way, but I decided to take all that anger, all that frustration, all that, you know, that was built inside of me. I decided to take it into a positive thing, put it towards my future, put it towards my goals, and show people that, you know, even though you went through a war, I know, you know, I didn't have it as bad as others, but it's still possible to pursue your dreams. And you know, I went from having nothing. We were literally at our lowest point of our life, and now, you know, look where we are today, cutting hair for celebrities, and you know, we've got a big business in Australia. So it's great. Australia's great. So
Yeah, what was it like finding roots in a whole new country? Like you say, it was like finding heaven, which, you know, it's a total opposite of where you came from.
Yeah.
What was it like building roots there?
It was very difficult. I was very lonely for the first few, I'd say, years, because you know, the language, we didn't speak the language, so we didn't know how to communicate with people. We didn't know how to chat. But Australia in general is built on a multicultural basis, so it's great. People are just so nice. They come and sit down with you. They have a chat with you. I remember because you know, coming from a war-torn country, you're still scarred from it. So I remember my teachers would come and try and talk to me, try and get out of me. You know, like what happened to you? You know, they could tell I went through some tough times. So. You know, they sat me down, they chatted with me, they told me, you know, this is a safe place. They reassured me because I wasn't sure if it was, you know, like as a kid, you know, even though your parents tell you it's safe, but they've always told us it's safe while the bombs were coming down as well, you know, so you didn't really believe your parents in a safe sense. So building the roots and stuff, it was just great. Australia was honestly amazing in the sense of they just try and help you as much as they can. They give you the support you need. They give you the love you need. They leave everything, it worked, you know, everything worked out perfect. So, you know, shout out to Australia. You know?
And congratulations for like building a big business there, you know?
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It was honestly from my parents. My dad started, you know, it was very tough moving there. We had literally zero and we had to start from zero. So my dad started the business from scratch, you know, in 2010. So as soon as we got there, my dad said, you guys study the English language. Let me sort out the business. He had to study as well because he spoke French and Arabic, couldn't speak English as well. So while he was studying, he was looking at businesses. So shout out to my dad as well, you know, and my family. They did a great job, you know, being supportive and being together. We always stuck together till now, you know, we're still one family and we're doing great together. So
there are these pictures playing beside us of your dad giving you a haircut and then you giving your dad a haircut, and it's just such a beautiful, like, full circle moment.
Yeah. So my dad has played a big role in me becoming a barber. You know, he told me every single detail of barbering and business side of things. So he was a celebrity barber back in Lebanon as well for Superstar Academy. So, you know, and there's the show in Syria as well, Barber. He used to be a barber for a few of the main actors like Abu Islam. I don't know if you guys are probably familiar with that. So he was a huge part of my career. So he played a big part of my career, and you know, it was because of him basically I am where I am today. He motivated me to be where I am today, and he played a big role in our lives, teaching us.
So you moved to Australia. You weren't in school prior to that time, right?
No.
And just like readjusting, going back to school, you still stuck with going to work with your dad. Why was that important to you?
Well, you know, are you talking about Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Australia, it was very important to me because first of all, I had to learn the language, and the only way we had to learn the language is to communicate with people. Even though I had no idea, people, you know, come up to me, talk to me. I'm like, yes, good, no, you know, that's all we knew, and it was very important for me because I honestly enjoyed the job. And in Australia, the legal age of work at the time, I think it was like 15 or 16. Now it might be different, but you know, I couldn't work. So all I could do is just sweep the floor, couldn't cut hair, anything. So for me to keep going and to keep me motivated, I just, you know, would insist. So I would catch a bus from home to school, and then I would catch a bus. So my dad's work was about an hour and a half away from my school. So then I would catch a bus from school to the city, and then catch a train and catch another train to
Proper
work.
grafting.
Yeah, so you know, it was. I really wanted to pursue barbering. I really wanted to be a barber, to the point I would ask my dad, "Can I stop school and just come to work?" You know, obviously, it was a no. You know how Arab parents are. So I finished year 12, and it was working 7 days a week. I didn't know what school holidays were, so it was just work all the time. It was something I wanted to do from a very, very young age. And here we are today, you know. So
that's incredible.
It's amazing. So.
And how do you jump from working at your dad's place to going kind of solo and doing your own thing?
It went from, because at the age of 18, I've been doing it. So I've been doing it. By the time I was 18, I finished school. It would have been 10 years that I've been doing it for. So in my head, I thought I'm ready to open a shop, right? I didn't know what the challenges were with opening a shop, right? So I didn't know that I had to pay rent. I had to pay, you know, electricity, water, all these things that came to the shop, with the shop, sorry. And so I told my dad, introduced the idea to my dad. He was like, "Oh, you know, I don't think you're ready to open a shop. You don't know what it takes. You know how to run a business, but you don't know what it takes to run a business, to actually pay off the wages and all that." I insisted. So from 18 to the age of 20, I worked for 7 days a week, every single day of those 2 years. There was maybe I took 2 days off. That's because one morning I woke up very, very sick, went to work knowing that I was very, very sick, you know, and after work I drove myself to hospital and I was admitted for 2 days. You know, it's just the commitment I had to this job. I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to be something, you know, and I knew I could be something. It's just the start was very tough, you know. Anyway, after 2 years, I saved up enough money and I went and bought a little 20 square meter shop with 2 chairs. And yeah, first week goes by, I think in the first week I made not even $150, which is absolutely nothing in Australia, you know. And that was when the reality hit me, like, oh wow, is this what I wanted, you know, is this what I've worked my whole life for, you know. And so I had to adjust and find things and find things to work out. So Australia is very behind in technology, if you guys, I don't know if you guys know that. So honestly, they're very behind in social media, very behind in technology. So I decided to make barber videos and you know, I was the first one in Adelaide, which is the south of Australia, to make the video. So people were like, wow, this guy is something, you know, like.
Are we talking about like Vine or TikTok or Snapchat?
Facebook at the time.
Facebook.
So Facebook was still a big thing. Yeah. 6 years ago, Facebook was still a big thing in Australia. So I did Facebook, and from there, it just blew up. So I kept doing videos, you know, I contacted my friend, I was like, hey, this is blowing up. So, you know, 100 likes for Adelaide was like, wow, this guy's a celebrity, you know.
That's like all of Adelaide.
Yeah, literally, that's like 1% of the population probably, you know. So then we kept in contact. Then TikTok came along. I didn't know what TikTok was, you know, because it was just not a thing for me. Like I wasn't a big social media guy. It was just Facebook, and I was satisfied with my 100 likes, yeah, right? So then we took it to TikTok, and TikTok just absolutely loved my work for some reason. Like I would just do some satisfying stuff, and within I think 3 months we gained like 60,000 followers, and then you know my videos were getting within 2 days 20 million, 30 million views, and I was like, this is the place to be, you know. This is where the you know the content should be, you know. And from there I just grew and just kept working hard, and it went from you know making nothing to something of myself, you know, and my name was getting built in Adelaide and eventually around Australia from TikTok. So yeah, it was very challenging. It's not easy, you know. So for people that are wanting to open a business, do it, but just know the challenges that come with it. You know, I highly recommend you opening a business up and doing, you know, pursuing your dreams. But it is a very bumpy road. So just be prepared for that, which is fine. It's you know, failure is part of success. So just push along and go with it. So.
Wise words. Like, it's honestly such an inspiring story. Like, what's the one thing that you want people to learn from you, basically?
Honestly, growing up, we thought there was no future. There was no point of looking at goals and dreams, you know, because it was just shattered by every bullet that was shot in the air, every bomb that went down, you know. And then moving from that one place to the other place, which is from Lebanon to Australia, it was just full of dreams, you know. And you know, one thing that I'd tell people to learn from me is just never give up. Just don't give up on your dreams. I even till now, sometimes I sit down with myself and like, oh, is this even, you know, am I going through the right place? Just keep pushing through those negative thoughts, because those negative thoughts, you know, you're doing something right. Because if there's no fear of what you're doing, there's no you know, bumps in the road, or you know, you fall down, just get back up and just keep going. Because I fell down probably thousands of times. I just kept going. I just got up and kept going, kept pushing through that road, you know. Just have a plan. Always have a plan. I highly recommend that. Write it down on a piece of paper. It's very important. And just take it from there. Just pursue your goals, pursue your dreams, and don't ever give up. You know, I was in Lebanon, in a war-torn country, and today I'm on Lovin Dubai. You know, the #1 show in Dubai. In my opinion, you know, I've been following you guys for quite a while as well. So from Australia. So
no way.
yeah, not having no idea that I'll be on the show. So
how
this is good. Yeah, it's amazing. You guys do a great job.
Did you write it down that you were on the show?
Well, it was part of the plan. Like for me to be on any kind of show, I didn't expect to be on Lovin Dubai. This is like a huge part of my, I call success for me, you know. It's a huge, it's huge.
Anytime you can come back,
well, I'd love to, but you know, this is my first time on any shows, you know, like any interview or any show. So it's a big deal for me. So thank you guys for having me. You know?
From us, a massive thank you for sharing your story, because it's really important to hear those stories. And also, I think from my side, I just feel massive privilege for how I grew up, and it's a massive reminder of, like, you know, as you said, it's just an inspirational story. So thank you for sharing it.
Thank you for having me. So I'm super excited to be here. So thank you again.
Well, Lovin Dubai is small. However, before we jump into our game, plan for the next 5 years. You've moved to Dubai.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself? What else have you written down?
So obviously, I want to be one of the most, the biggest, you know, barbers in the world. I just want to be able to travel the world and share my experience with everyone else, teach people how to cut hair, and take it from there, right? My biggest goal is to be a celebrity barber, to be the well-known, loved celebrity barber, right? And also, my biggest goal is to be Cristiano Ronaldo's barber as well. So he was a big inspiration growing up, you know, especially during the war. He you know, every time, you know, we'll go through a tough time, we'll just go play down soccer, and we'll do his celebrations, you know. And we're just Ronaldo, huge Ronaldo fans. So it'll be a great goal. It'll be a great achievement in my career, and it'll be a great honor to be his barber, his personal barber one day.
He's only 2 hours away.
He's only 2 hours
That's
away.
what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close. Getting closer and closer. You never know. Next year I might be living in Saudi Arabia, so to cut his hair. But no, Dubai is great. I love Dubai. It's probably one of the safest places I've been to. So shout out to Dubai as well. So
we love that, and we love those goals. So thank you for sharing with them, and we cannot wait to follow your journey as you continue.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Before you leave us, we want to talk hairstyles. We want to talk hair trends. We want to get your thoughts on some hair trends.
Okay.
So we're going to play What's Hot, What's Not with the buzzer. Do you want to check it works before we start?
Let's do it. It works. Let's go.
Okay, we love it. You don't need to buzz. We don't love it. You can just hit it. Throw it.
Yeah.
Throw it.
Okay. First on the list.
Yep.
Man bun.
Man bun. Look, sorry. But, a lot of my friends have man buns. You know, it's a bit old-fashioned now. You know, there's a lot better haircuts than a man bun. But sorry to the people that have man buns. But I think we can do better than man buns.
I think you've come from the land of man buns.
Yes, that's why I'm sick of man buns. You know, like let's just improve it a little bit. You know, just literally undercut with hair tied up. So, you know,
we can do better.
We can do much better, I reckon.
What about a mohawk?
No, mohawk it's good. It's especially with the way the trends are coming up with the lines and you know the zigzags that come with it and the shape of it. I love
zigzags.
Yeah. Like in Australia, we were pretty good with the designs. We do like zigzags and all that. So.
Poetry.
Yeah.
All right. Buzz cuts.
Buzz cuts, I can't say no. I've got one myself. Right. It's honestly my favorite haircut. It suits nearly 90% of the people, unless you start to, you know, don't have a perfect hairline. But buzz cuts is the way to go. I highly recommend buzz cuts. You know, if you haven't tried it, try buzz cuts.
I feel like it wouldn't suit me. I don't know.
No, it would, but I wouldn't like. But the thing is, people have an idea of buzz cuts that it should be this short, or it could be way longer than this, but just have the buzz cut pushed forward. You know,
Can you define a buzz cut for those of us who are not aware what a buzz cut is?
Basically, this is a buzz cut. You know, it's short on top and lined up at the front, and high skin fade or mid skin fade or even a low skin fade. Which mine is like a mid to high, as you can see. So
your fade is spectacular.
Thank
like
you.
I'm just looking like it's like a very nicely done
Thank you.
fade.
I had to do it last night, so I don't know if I did a good job. I
you did it yourself?
Yeah, I couldn't see the back, so I don't know how I went with the back. I tried.
It's looking great.
Yeah,
looking great all over.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Shahir's hair.
Shahir's hair, it is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love the curls. I love the fade. I love the line. So I wouldn't go any longer than that on top. And you know, I would leave it at that length. But Shahir's hair is perfect. Honestly, you know.
Very diplomatic.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go any longer on top.
No, I wouldn't, to be honest. No.
What do you think, Casey?
I think he came back from Salon and he had this cool line thing.
Yeah.
And then he had another double liner.
Yeah. So
which I thought was cool.
Yeah, something different. Why not?
The eyebrow slit? Like, who am I? You know?
What are you trying to tell the world? And then the very last one after Shahir's hair is
frosted tips.
Frosted tips. That is a very, very popular haircut at the moment in Australia. Yeah. So I would. It's a 50-50 thing. You know, some people think it suits them, but it honestly, like, it doesn't. You know, I'm a very honest barber. So if you come to me and you tell me, hey, I want, you know, this type of haircut or this haircut, I'll tell you straight out, like, hey, you know, we might want to look at other options because I can guarantee it won't look good on your face. Obviously, especially with my experience of over 15 years. It's just, I know what will suit you, and if you insist, I will do it anyway, because it's my job to do what you like, but I would recommend other, you know, it's just not my type, sorry, yeah. Sorry guys.
I like that, I love the honesty. If people want to get in touch with you, if they want to send you pics, so they're like, hey, does this suit me, how can they do that?
Yeah, so you can contact me on Luay's Fades on Instagram, I've got Facebook as well, I've got TikTok, so it's all Luay's Fades. Mainly on Instagram, you can contact me, send me photos. It's easier to message on there. Send me photos of your haircuts. Send me, you know, if you want any advice to do with haircut, or even if you want to get into the industry, into the barbering industry, I can guide you through where to start and how to start your journey in barbering. So, the way Fades it is.
That's amazing. We really appreciate your time and for sharing your story with us. And shout out to all of your family watching in Australia, guys. Thank you for tuning into the Lovin Dubai show. That is all we have time for this morning. And we are back every single weekday morning, same time, same place. A massive thank you to Luay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.